Sorry for the noise, Hannah.
Oh, no problem.
We're about done with the noisy part. Don, are you making a video?
Yes, sir.
So as you see here, there's lots of screws in here. Necessarily need to use them all. I like to use 2 here and 2 here because this is the point of contact. This is your center. 2 here, 2 here. Obviously, put your level on there. Put your level on there and screw until it's done. Whoops. Wow, what's going on here? Never seen one do that before. Look at that. Did you see that? See that's nice and level?
That's nice and level.
There we go. Sweet. If it don't go on hand tight, then you're not doing it right.
Not hand tight, you're not doing it right.
So look, once you're done hooking up your pipes, you obviously still got controls to do and other things to do, cleaning up, the drain, whatever. So in the meantime, once you're done tightening it on here, I recommend you get a pressure test going. Let the machine get pressure tested while you're doing all that. Let's go grab the nitrogen. Oh, perfect. Now we're gonna come over here. Look at this, guys. Look. Don, you got the all-in-one cutter?
Yes, sir.
Let's see that.
There's the all-in-one cutter
It's all-in-one cutter. It does everything. It cuts everything. You don't want to like stick it in there real tight, but I love this PVC cutter.
The wind is hellacious out here today.
I wouldn't even call that a wind. I think that's an HVAC demon. That's an HVAC ghost trying to smash one of us in the head. You don't want to tighten it too crazy tight because you will crack this plastic.
Well, okay.
Seen that a bunch of times. Don't crack the plastic. Now remember, you guys, we don't need this neutral wire, so we're just going to cut it off. It's not going to be used or anything. Remember,
This is why you want to get your pipes ran. This is why you want to get everything ran, and then you can do all the little things, cleaning up, you know, because everything's evacuating. You don't want to do all this stuff, then do your evacuation process. You want to do all this stuff first, then do your evacuation. You know, do your evacuation after you get this hooked up and you did your pressure test. We still have to wire the indoor unit, and then we're done out here. Snap the breaker in. So I want to show you guys something. See how all the wires, you don't see any extra ground like wire in here. This
Right.
is okay. This is the ground and it is in the connector. But you don't want to have like a bunch of bare wire here and here. You want all your bare wire to be inside that connection. Okay? Click.
Okay.
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 Now we're gonna grab a little handy dandy Mitsubishi thingamabopper. I used to play basketball, so I can make a layup with my left hand or my right hand. I'm pretty ambidextrous. So you basketball players, when your basketball career's over, maybe you should get into HVAC. Wouldn't hurt. These things have been like terrible lately. Like the break.
Like that?
See, look at that.
Oh, good.
See how they do that, boys? and girls?
Yeah.
That's just because I'm really strong and I know how to. Just some of them are real weak. One more, Don.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna pick a magic one. There you go.
So we know this is all done. Having those covers.
All right, we're going up to 600 pounds PSI.
If we can. Sometimes the nitrogen regulators don't go all the way.
It's getting up about 500.
510. We're just gonna stop it right there. 510's looking good to me.
All right.
Got the screwdriver.
Yes, sir. And I'm filming for YouTube, so they can.
So look, if you guys all want to know how to do a connector inside a breaker panel, this is how you do it. First, you find your magical piece of wood. Stick your little stuff right here like this. I like wood. Twist this real tight like that, your fingers. Stick it in your breaker. Just a little too long for my liking. I'm gonna cut this one too here. Look at that, look at this, look at that. Twistify it nice and tight and clean like. Oh, drop your screwdriver, that's always a plus. Try to drop as much stuff all day long. So you bend over 1,000 times and you get a lot of exercise that way.
Yes.
You tighten this here breaker down. I like to pull the wire just real gently. You don't got to try to yank on it. Just gently pull it.
Making sure we get a tight connection. Yes, sir. There you go.
Don't hook this in until you got your unit wired. One thing you do got to remember is Mitsubishi has a thing called mylinkdrive.com. You can hop on there, find any unit that you're trying to work with, and it'll tell you the recommended gauge wire you need to pull and the amps for that particular unit. So you don't need to try to figure it all out. You always want to land your ground wire on both ends of your device before you power it up, because then you'll have a form of protection. Any smart tech will tell you that. And we're just going to kind of tuck the wire in there, just like so. Oh. Hey everybody, this is Jared with Ductless Plus. I have Hannah here. She called us up. She has a house down here in Castle Rock that basically is a passive home, and it was engineered by some folks up at the CSU.
Yeah.
And when was the house built?
82.
1982. And she has a stove over here that was her primary heating for this house. And obviously, it being a passive home, they did really good job insulating the home, and they did a few things as far as a construction to make it do heating and natural cooling, right? But she wanted to have a little bit more convenience with a mini split to be able to heat this room up a little bit quicker for her in the winter during the colder months. Hannah, you want to talk about that?
Yep, because our stove is awesome and we love it, and we're probably still going to use it. And it heats out the house really good, but sometimes it's just, especially when you're in between, you think it could be a little warmer. You don't want to mess with the stove. So I sit here wrapped in my blanket, and I'm used to it, but now we have the convenience of our mini split. So if I just need a little bit of heat and it goes fast and I can be comfortable, and my husband, sweet husband Robert, doesn't have to worry about freezing when I'm home, and he knows I'm not starting the stove on my own.
And what do you put wood in there, right? Obviously.
Yep, we
So
heat with
you know
wood.
you got to go out and grab wood and fill
Yeah.
it, and you got a lot of cleaning and.
It's not that I can do it, but I just say for me throughout the day, I'm fine. I just move, I dress accordingly, I have my blanket. Then when it's cold and he comes home in the evening, then he starts the stove. But now I have this, and I'm excited, looking forward to it, and a little bit of cooling in the summer. Even it stays pretty comfortable down here, but when we get those hot weeks for a week or two, so I'm excited, very excited, and Jared and Dad are awesome.
Hannah, we ran the heat, right? We ran the
Yes.
heat already, so now it's started to do the cooling mode. I don't know if you
Yes.
feel it already,
Yes,
but
I can feel
I want
it.
you to come with us outside. I want you to hear how quiet these
Okay.
machines are, okay? This machine is fully 100% operational in cooling mode. Hannah, do you feel this heat coming out of it?
Yeah, I
How-
can feel it. It's not super hot because
We don't have a ton of
have
heat
it,
in.
like, yeah.
Just remember, these machines, they're just heat transfer machine, okay,
Yeah.
guys? So it's an air source heat pump, so we're extracting heat to heat it when we're doing it in the winter, and then in the summertime, we're pulling heat from there and bringing it out here. Her house does have a little bit of residual heat in there, but you can feel the heat coming out of this machine right now. It's kind of cool today. It's probably, I don't know, 65 degrees out right now.
Mhm.
But, listen to how loud, what do you think of that?
You can hear it at all. I can hear it at all. I hear the highway wood,
highway.
and I don't hear it at all.
Isn't that amazing?
Awesome. Yes.
So,
Because I thought you heard like a little bit, because when I sit out here in the summer, I can hear the neighbor's air conditioner that's over there in the other house. When that kicks in, I can hear the thing turning on.
and what's really amazing about the Japanese And the reason why they make these machines so quiet is, you know, Tokyo is a very big city,
Live so close
and they're
together.
so close, and they actually want to be able to make sure that they're being polite and kind to their neighbors, so they don't want to have a machine that's super loud. So these
Yeah.
machines, not only are they, you know, built to last, and they're very durable machines, they're built to
It's
be
awesome.
respectful of their neighbors. So
Yeah. I
you know,
can't hear it at all.
yeah.
No, not at all.
But this is it. You know, did you get a shot of that, Don? Seeing the
Yes.
fan rotate.
Yep.
We put a line set height up. We drilled
It
a
looks
little.
good too.
We drilled a little hole right there. We filled it with insulation, and then we caulked the hole shut. I like to smear it around in there really good, and you know, I kind of get a lot of that in there. So once it dries, it's solid. We're not going to have any kind of leaking going through there. But we ran your conduit right here.
Is a unit like that, are they grounded?
Of course, they're grounded.
How does that work?
It's inside the panel.
Oh.
So we ran your wire here, everything. And then this is your breaker.
Okay.
That's your switch. If you ever feel like you want to turn it off, just turn it off right there. And then I did kind of fix that a little bit. I don't know.
I have a real luck. I just get I am so excited. It is awesome. And Sharon and Don are the best.